Welcome to the deep dive. If you're tuning in today, chances are you're thinking beyond just a little extra cash from a side hustle. You're probably aiming higher, maybe towards real financial independence. So today, we're really focusing on a major milestone, getting to $5,000 a month consistently. That's $60,000 a year from something outside your main job.
Yeah, $5,000. That's often the number that, really changes things financially. But let's be real up front. Our sources, looking at hundreds of successful side hustlers, show that hitting this level, that puts you in the top 2%. Seriously.
Wow, only 2%.
It's not something you stumble into or get just by, working an extra 20 hours at minimum wage. Hitting $5 Ks a month needs a solid strategy. It has to be built for scale and leverage from the start.
Exactly. And that's our mission here today, right? To unpack those high leverage strategies. We want to show you the kinds of things those top 2% are doing, the methods that actually separate your income from the hours you put in. We're looking for ways around that trap of just trading time for dollars.
Okay, so let's dive right into that core difference. Trading your time versus leveraging assets. Most people, when they start a side hustle, they kind of accidentally just create a second job for themselves, often one that's less secure.
Right. You're just selling hours again.
Exactly. And there's a hard limit, right? Only so many hours in the day. A real side business, though, that's different. It's an asset. It's a system you build, hopefully automate parts of it, and then it can sell over and over, or you manage it with much less time.
That's the leverage we're after, the idea that the heavy lifting happens up front. Like if you create a digital product, maybe an online course or some kind of template, or even a book you self-publish, you put the work in once.
And then the income keeps coming.
Yeah, through things like online marketplaces or automated emails that handle the sales and delivery. It can feel passive, but only because you built the system first.
And it's important to remember, this isn't just for digital stuff. This leverage idea works for physical things, too. We see it in businesses that are mostly automated or semi-automated. Think laundromats, maybe vending machine routes, self-serve car washes.
Ah, okay. So you buy the machine or the location.
Right. You buy the asset, and the asset does most of the day-to-day work. Your job shifts from doing the labor to managing the system. That's way more scalable.
So building that asset often means making yourself more valuable, which brings us to our first big concept, skill stacking.
Yes, the multiplier effect.
Exactly. You don't have to be like the absolute best in one really competitive field. The smarter play is often combining 2 or 3 skills you're already pretty good at, skills that work well together, that makes you unique and, frankly, a lot more valuable.
And what's really interesting is how the value grows. It's not just adding skill A to skill B. It's more like they multiply. Suddenly, you're operating in a niche of maybe just one person, solving problems in a way others aren't quite hitting.
Okay, let's make that concrete. What are some powerful combinations we saw in the source material?
Well, take copywriting, the skill of persuading people with words. If you're decent at that, and you stack it with some knowledge of SEO, search engine optimization,
you become
an SEO content strategist. That's a role that can command really high fees, often into 6 figures for consultants. Because you're not just writing nice sentences, you're solving 2 huge problems. Getting found online and turning that traffic into customers. That's super valuable.
Makes sense. What about in, say, design?
Similar idea. Stop just selling logos for an hourly rate. Stack brand strategy, really understanding the client's market, why they need visuals with your graphic design execution skills. Now, you're not selling time. You're selling a whole branding consultancy package. Much higher value.
Got it. Higher value packages.
And one I really like is stacking technical video editing skills with practical digital marketing knowledge. You're not just cutting video anymore. You're offering a complete video marketing campaign designed to get results, like leads or sales. You're selling the outcome, not just the editing labor.
That focus on results and value leads straight into concept 2, focusing on scalable niches. Because, all the skill stacking in the world won't help much if you're in a shrinking market or one where everyone's competing on price.
Absolutely. You need high demand and ideally a way to deliver high value. High value consulting is one direct path. Sometimes it even lets you skip building a business from scratch. Look at specialized software, like Salesforce. Our sources point out becoming a certified Salesforce admin or consultant.
Even without a tech background.
Often, yes. If you get that specific certification, entry-level roles can start at $60,000, $70,000 a year, sometimes more. That hits your $5 a month goal right away just by getting one really valuable in-demand skill.
Okay, that's a direct skills play. What about building those digital assets we talked about?
Print on demand, or POD, is a great example for scale, mainly because you don't handle inventory. We saw examples like Heather Johnson selling, what was it, $15,000 worth of goods monthly, which came out to about $5,000 in profit for her.
So how does that scale? Just designing more t-shirts?
Not just that. The real key there is mastering trend spotting and using tools to quickly create and list hundreds, maybe thousands, of designs for specific niches. It's almost like data-driven design leveraging automation.
Interesting. And this applies to expertise, too.
Definitely. Think about Teresa Greenway. We'll talk more about her later. Her niche was super specific. Sourdough baking, she turned that into online courses. Or Derek Murphy, writing young adult fantasy books. He built a portfolio of books, multiple assets, generating $5K a month because they sell constantly on platforms like Amazon.
And we can't forget the sort of unusual rentals, like that guy, Steve Nadramia.
Yeah, the portable hot tubs. He bought the asset, the tubs, once. Now he rents them out over and over. It's relatively low effort for ongoing high leverage income from a physical thing.
Okay, so that brings us to maybe the most disruptive idea. Concept 3, using financial leverage and actually buying existing cash flow.
Right. Why go through all the pain and risk of starting from zero if you can buy something that's already working and profitable?
That sounds good, maybe less risky, but doesn't buying a business cost a fortune?
And what about hidden problems? How does someone aiming for a side hustle realistically do that?
That's the crucial point. Most successful folks doing this aren't paying cash up front. They're using specific kinds of leverage. The two main ways highlighted are SBA financing and seller financing. SBA loans are backed partly by the government, so banks are more willing to lend for buying a small business.
Yeah.
You often only need maybe 10% down.
Okay, so you leverage the government guarantee. What about the other one, seller financing? That sounds like you bypass the bank entirely. Exactly. With seller financing, the person selling the business essentially acts as the bank. You negotiate terms to pay them the purchase price over time, usually using the money the business itself generates. This often means much less cash needed up front. Plus, the seller's invested in your success because they need the business to keep running well so you can pay them. It's a really clever way to get into a working cash flow stream.
All right, let's move from the concepts to see how this plays out in real life. Let's talk about some of the success stories.
Okay, first up, Hannah Ingram. Perfect example of automated ownership through leverage. She bought a self-service car wash down in Tennessee. The really strategic part was how she bought it, seller financing. Almost no money out of her own pocket up front.
Wow. So she didn't need a huge down payment.
Right. And the key isn't that she's, washing cars herself. She automated the payments and the basic management. Now she makes around $5,000 a month, and it only takes her about 30 minutes a day to oversee things. She essentially bought back her time by using debt smartly.
That's incredible. Okay, and then there's monetizing a really specific passion. You mentioned Teresa Greenway earlier.
Yes, Teresa, mother of 10, loved baking. She realized her deep knowledge of sourdough wasn't just a hobby. It was a valuable niche skill people would pay to learn. So she launched northwestsourdough.com, created online courses teaching it, and started making $5,000 a month doing what she loved. She built a digital asset she could sell infinitely from her specific expertise.
That's scaling expertise perfectly. Okay, one more. This content gold miner idea sounds interesting.
Yeah, this is a newer strategy, really enabled by modern tools like AI. Think about all the entrepreneurs, coaches, small businesses out there who create content, podcasts, videos, blog ideas, but then it just sits there, unused.
Right, they're too busy running the business to actually publish everything.
Exactly. Maybe 200 podcast episodes just sitting on a hard drive, half-finished articles. This is like hidden gold. The content gold miner comes in, finds that unused content, and uses AI tools and templates to quickly repurpose it into stuff the client can use. Blog posts, social media snippets, email sequences.
So they're taking raw material the client already has.
And turning it into finished, monetizable assets. They solve the client's biggest problem, lack of time for execution. You could potentially charge several clients, say, $1,000 a month each for this. Your input is relatively small because the core content exists, but the value you provide is huge. Getting to $5K a month that way seems very doable.
Okay, these are great examples. So let's bring it back to the listener. What are some really clear, actionable things someone could do, like today?
Right, high leverage steps.
My first tip would be use AI to figure out your most valuable skills right now. Stop thinking you need to learn something totally new. Often it's about selling what you already know, but better. You can actually use something like ChatGPT, almost like a free business coach, to get started.
Yeah, and here's a specific prompt structure you could try. Be detailed about your situation. Tell it, okay, I have a background in, and list your skills. Even weird ones like, budgeting spreadsheets, data entry, maybe dog walking. Then add My interests are. List your hobbies. Then ask it, list profitable, in-demand side hustle ideas I could launch right now without needing more experience or training. That forces the AI to focus on leveraging what you already have.
That's a great starting point. Okay, tip 2. Prioritize recurring revenue streams whenever possible. If you're thinking about affiliate marketing or recommending software, really focus on promoting things that have monthly subscriptions.
So one sale pays multiple times.
Exactly. You make one sale and it keeps paying you month after month. It's like building a snowball. Your income starts to compound without you having to chase a new sale every single time.
Makes sense. And a final tip.
Tip 3. If you're thinking about a service business, maybe something local like car detailing, specialized house cleaning, junk removal, start local and validate first. These often don't cost a fortune to start, maybe $1,000 to $5,000 typically. Don't go big right away. Offer your service to friends, family, neighbors first, maybe at a discount.
Why the discount?
To get testimonials. Your main goal initially isn't profit, it's building confidence and getting those glowing reviews.
Those testimonials become your most valuable asset. Then, when you're ready to expand using local platforms like Nextdoor or Facebook groups, you can charge premium prices because you have proof you're good.
So that really wraps up our deep dive for today. Getting to $5,000 a month with a side hustle, it's clearly not about just working harder or longer hours.
No, it's about working smarter. It's about strategy.
Yeah, using skill stacking to boost your value and deliberately choosing leverage, whether that's through automation, digital products, or smart financing instead of just more manual work.
And remember that quote or idea about entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur is someone who lives a few years like others won't, so they can live a lifetime that others can't. That initial push to build the system, the asset, it is often hard work. It takes real effort up front. But that concentrated effort is what builds the machine that finally breaks the link between your time and your income.
So maybe try out that AI prompt we talked about. Take a hard look at the skills you already possess and commit to taking one small action based on these leveraged ideas. Do it today. Don't wait for next month. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.